Good afternoon and welcome to today's broadcast of Incentive Concepts Live. My name is Andy Hudson and I'm Director of Marketing for Incentive Concepts, and we're really happy for you to be joining us today and looking forward to a great broadcast. The goal of the Incentive Concepts Live program is to provide a platform for our customers and partners to learn about our services and solutions and to discuss corporate gifts and incentives, and most importantly, to have some fun. So we hope today's broadcast will help you feel connected and engaged during this time of social distancing and remote work. Before I introduce today's guests, I would like to go over some logistical details. You're most likely watching this broadcast on the Incentive Concepts website, and that's just fine. But for a better experience, you might want to click on the Incentive Concepts logo or the title of the broadcast within the YouTube window and head right over to YouTube. That way you can participate in the live chat, ask questions, and interact with any of the other viewers. So go ahead and click on there and then head on over to YouTube. We'd love to hear comments from you. We'd love for you to let us know where you're watching from and your name, and so we can reach out to you with any questions or to answer any information, provide any other information. So with that, let's get started. So today's live broadcast is our home product showcase, and we're going to be exploring premium incentives and corporate gifts and solutions that are ideal for employees and families who are spending more time at home, which we all are today in today's society. So today's guests are three members of our sales team: our VP of Sales, Kevin Hagan; Aaron Cook, who's our sales manager for the southeastern part of the U.S., and our sales manager for Illinois and Wisconsin, Raul Garcia. Thanks, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Thank you, Andy.
Fantastic. Looking good. Everybody got on, which is the sometimes the hardest part about these Zoom meetings that we're all participating in these days, but everybody's looking good out there. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Still waiting for Raul to come on, so let me just make sure he's there. There's Raul. Raul, can you hear us okay? Raul, are you there?
All good. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Okay, there he is. We need to turn off the video on his, or the audio part of his video screen here. So Raul, maybe you could do that if you don't mind before we get going too much here. But let's start with Kevin. All right, Kevin, last week we had a fantastic live broadcast with some of our friends from Bose, Brian Surrett and Sean Mackey, and they took us through an amazing program. What did you think of that live broadcast?
Yeah, that was great, Andy. I thought, it was interesting watching it. I've got my headphone noise canceling 700s in my backpack, and I never really dug them out until after that broadcast last week, where I know now I can use them in my office every day when I'm on the Zoom calls and conference calls. And I don't have a lot of background noise at my house, but obviously a lot of people do experience that. So very useful. I thought it was great. Good interaction and great demonstrations.
Absolutely. The thing that I was most surprised about was how some of the Bluetooth speakers can also be used as computer speakers and like speakerphones. Yeah. I didn't even know that thing was in there. You kind of learn something new every day with Bose products. But yeah, that was fantastic. So for those of you that weren't on last week, you can go over to incentiveconcepts.com/live and watch previous episodes, including the one from Bose last week and the ones from previously this month. And again, it's Andy Hudson with Incentive Concepts, and got Kevin Hagan, Aaron Cook, and Raul Garcia here from our Incentive Concepts sales team. So Kevin, let's talk a little bit more about some of the other solutions that we've identified for this remote work situation. Maybe like fitness and wellness. Should we start off with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things obviously that are changing quickly, and we're adapting to those as quickly as we can with Incentive Concepts product lines. Fitness has been just huge for us. Obviously, people that are not allowed to get into their local gym still want to do their workouts, and working out at home is a great solution. And we've got a lot of different product lines to adapt to that. Life Fitness is the actual products that we have for treadmills and bikes and things like that. And then there's smaller products from Lifeline that you can use to stay in shape, hooking things up to your door and stretches. And I think we're going to have a live broadcast from them in a couple of weeks. But yeah, the fitness area is huge. And today we're going to cover a couple of other things with some things to do in home with your families and as yourself, by yourself as well. So right now, more than ever, it's very important to continue to appreciate all the employees that you have and let them know you're thinking of them. And we're going to give you some ideas to do that today.
Okay. I don't know about you, but my family, we haven't gone out to dinner in like 2 months. And all we've been doing is cooking meals at home, which is great. So that's another one of our categories, family meals. And we're going to focus in on that with Aaron and or with yourself and Raul later. So we'll kind of get into that later. What about like a relaxed theme, maybe like Mr. Barbecue or some of our other brands that would fit in well with just relaxing?
Yeah, obviously trying to get outside and change your view every once in a while is important. I think it's important to get out of your office, wherever it may be, if it's in your kitchen or you've got an office or in your basement, to get out of there once in a while and make sure you do see some sunlight. In the evenings, if you want to get out by a fire pit, Mr. Barbecue is great for that. If you've got a massage chair upstairs, you've got the Human Touch products, which are great for massages and relaxation as well.
Excellent. And then the last category that we're not going to touch on today is home improvement. And I think you guys know this, I do a lot of repurposed, I like build furniture and stuff just to keep my mind off this crazy thing. But I've also found myself mowing my grass more often. I try to get my teenage kids to do it, but they keep saying, "No, Dad, I'm too busy with school." So what about some of our brands there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's been, again, another category that's increasing tenfold is our outdoor. So we've got Echo and MTD for outdoor lawn care and equipment. You've also got AR Blue Clean for power washers and things like that. So we've got a lot of different opportunities to keep you busy during the weekends, to do little checks here and there on your to-do list and make sure that you've got some home improvement things getting done while you're also at home and spending that time.
Excellent. And we do have several people tuning in. We've got almost 40 people watching right now, Kevin. So you didn't scare too many people away, I guess.
I'm surprised at that.
So shout out to everybody who's tuning in so far. I see lots of our sales reps on. I see, Brian Surrett's on from Bose from last week. He says hello, so good for that. Just go ahead and put questions or comments in the chat box if you want, and we'll be happy to answer those as we see fit. So, Kevin, thanks a lot. I'm going to ask you and Raul have some work to do because you got some kitchen stuff going on.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to ask you guys to mute yourselves and to disconnect your video because we're going to head over to Aaron Cook, who's here in the greater St. Louis area, and talk about some recreation and games. So, Kevin, Raul, we'll get back to you guys in a little bit, okay?
Great. Thank you.
All right. Cookie.
Hey,
how are you, my friend? So
it's good.
Yeah, we call him Cookie. I hope it's okay if I call you Cookie today instead of Aaron.
That works. As you can see, I'm outside. It's a beautiful day here in the St. Louis area. Just trying to get adjusted to this new normal. I know for me personally, this is week 8 of working from home. I just got an email earlier today. It'll be week 9 working from home next week. So, it's nice that the weather's finally getting warm. I know for me and my family, we've gone to the grocery store, we've gotten out to the hardware store, but, the kids' sports teams are canceled. The games are canceled. Parks are closed, trying times. So one of my favorite brand partners, Escalade, that we're going to talk about here today, really it's an important category for us right now, just to be able to get outside, get the kids off of their tablets and video games and YouTube and all of that, and just do a little bit of, exercise or just getting some fresh air, some sunlight. I think mentally and physically is all very good.
Awesome. We're St. Louis Blues fans here in St. Louis, of course. And if you're not aware, this is the 1-year anniversary of Pat Maroon scoring that amazing overtime goal against Dallas. Just for those of you tuning in, but it looks like you got a Vegas Knights bag toss there. Can you tell us about that's pretty cool looking.
I do. So normally in my possession, I would have St. Louis Blues or St. Louis Cardinals, but we were fortunate to use this sample at PPAI last year. So we went with Las Vegas since that's where the trade show was. But what a really cool game. And Escalade has really gotten into a lot of tailgate type games. And I know, we may not be going back to traditional tailgating anytime soon. But when we look at kind of coming out of this and the new norm of social distancing, what better way to get out? If you're a bar or restaurant, maybe the pool tables aren't going to be as busy. Maybe the dartboards aren't going to be quite as busy. But maybe they're looking for other activities. So cornhole is a great game where you can be outside. You can still be inside. You can social distance while you're doing it. Both boards are usually 27 feet apart. You can play individuals, you can play as teams, but gives you the opportunity to do that social distancing. Another great fact about the boards, I'll kind of see if I can hold this one up here, give you a little closer look. But as you can see, it's a full color digital print, printed right on the wood. These are made in the USA, so it's premium wood, it's solid wood, it's not veneers. Again, that's a digital print on it. As I get up here, I wouldn't do this to a Blues board, but since this is
Wow.
the Las Vegas Knights, I can kind of get up there and show you that. I mean, that's a solid board.
What about the bags themselves? Can you put a logo on those or?
So you can. So the bags are cool. So they are I know in the Midwest we call this cornhole. I've heard bag toss, different names. But really where that name comes from is there's actually corn feed in these bags. They're hand sewn in the US, same as the boards are assembled. And we can do a logo on the bags to go with the logo on the board. If you're looking for one unit, maybe you don't need a logo on it. We have some stock designs. Getting into some of our other products here. Washer board. Again, we can do kind of a retail design where logo's not necessarily quite as important, still looks good. But we can also do that custom design. We have a ladder ball game over here.
Sure.
Get back here, lawn dice. My kids are dying to play with these after this is over.
Have you taught them how to play craps yet, or are you sticking with like Yahtzee?
We're getting there. Once
Okay.
I got to get them to open their piggy banks. So, but again, we got logo options on those as well.
Nice.
I should add to standard minimum 10 units. So, it's not like we're requiring you have to do 50, 100, whatever it might be.
Okay, wonderful. So let's see. What Escalade Sports has a lot of outdoor games which we're featuring today, but they also have some other things that are great for this time. Can you just maybe just verbally highlight a few other products that they might offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have your basketball hoops. They have the Gorilla brand, Silverback brand. So if you want to do outdoor hoops, they have indoor hoops, your Papa Shots, dartboards, pool tables, you name it. They got quite a wide range of product. And again, to hit on Kevin's point, I think in our business, we're seeing a trend of a category like this really increasing in volume and seeing more demand as people have less options to go out and do things. So they're looking at, okay, what can I get that I can have at my home that can still occupy my time, give me a distraction from what's going on. And, the other thing is it's great quality family time.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And that's what it's all about right now. So Cookie, this was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stick around, okay, because we're going to bring you back on near the end. But right now I want to bring Raul back on. So Raul, if you could turn your video on and your audio, and Cookie, we'll see you back in a few minutes, okay?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Oh, that worked great. Raul, can you hear me still?
Absolutely. Everything is good.
All right, wonderful. So What you got going on there? And is this your kitchen? It's beautiful.
Yes, this is my kitchen. Thank you very much. So actually in the 10 minutes that we had gone through what Kevin was talking about in Cookie's presentation, I was actually able to get some baby potatoes. I've got a filet mignon and I've got a ooey gooey cookie that I cooked, and everything was done in Lodge. So what's great about the Lodge brand in itself, it's it's multi-purpose, right? It's just not designed for the kitchen. It's designed for the fire pit. It's designed for your grill. It's designed for open fire. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this stuff, and no need to worry because it's not going to fall apart on you. Actually got some fun facts here. So Lodge started making this in 1896. To this day, the Lodge family still owns the business, and it's run by the 5th generation of that family. So that's kind of cool stuff. And again, as Cookie touched on some of his product, all Lodge product, except for some of the accessories, are made in the United States. So with what's going on in the world, I mean, shipping's a little touchy coming out of overseas China and some other locations. We actually have this stuff. It ships out of South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. So stock is not an issue for us. Again, we do work with the factory for them to have the inventory, but we also inventory quite a bit in our warehouse as well.
Okay, great. So South Pittsburgh. I was born in Pittsburgh. I guess that would be North Pittsburgh. So South Pittsburgh. It must have something to do with all the steel and iron available to them to be called South Pittsburgh.
Could be, absolutely, could be.
Yeah. So is this a typical lunch for the Garcia family? A filet, potatoes, and an ooey gooey cookie cake, or what?
It is not. So actually, I wanted to show some of the capabilities. I love to grill. And for those that were fortunate enough to see Jason's presentation a couple weeks back, that is usually me. That's me out there doing what I got to do. But on occasion, we do have some bad weather here in the Chicagoland area. So I still want a steak, but I don't want to get, I think it's rain more than anything that dampers me cooking outside. I can take, 20 below or a snow blizzard, but when it's rain, it just doesn't feel the same. But I still have a, taste for some steak. So what I'll do is I'll get out the cast iron, and it comes out beautifully. And I think it does that because cast iron by nature is, it is a non-stick surface. I mean, people are afraid to cook with cast iron because, number one, it gets really hot. And that's really what you need to do. You need to have this at a very hot temperature, particularly for steak, because you need to sear, and you just finish that off in the oven. But again, the sticking surface on this is naturally non-stick. And again, a lot of people don't like to cook with cast iron because, it's something I need to take care of. Not really. It's like any other pot and pan. You need to wash it. You need to get the gunk out of it. But after that, it's just a matter of seasoning. And what Lodge does is actually they do have their own brand of canola oil spray. So once you've cleaned your pan and dried it properly, it's just a couple of sprays of this, wipe it on with a paper towel, and that is what seasoning is. There's nothing more to it. And then you put it away in the cupboard and you bring it out for the next use.
Sounds like a piece of cake, or in your case, a piece of cookie, right?
Yeah.
It looks like you got a cookbook back there. What is?
I do. So actually, I was able to whip up the potatoes and the ooey gooey cookie out of this. They do a great job of a lot of recipes. And what's interesting, a majority of these recipes are 15 minutes or less. You'll probably spend a quarter of your time warming up your cast skillet. But once that's ready to go, these are easy peasy recipes that you can whip out. And again, it's nice to try new things, especially with a lot of people being confined to home right now. And that's what we've been doing here in the Garcia household, just trying out some fun stuff with cast iron. I have a lot of it here simply because we represent Lodge. So, I'd love to go ahead and try some new things. And so a lot of except for the steak, that I'm a wizard of, I got that down pat. But the potatoes and the cookie was straight out of this cookbook right here.
Excellent. David Rosenstock, who's one of our sales reps, says Lodge is good stuff. The big pans are great for making deep dish pizza. And I think before we went live, you had a big, you had a couple different size pans there. Can you show us the difference? And
absolutely. So this is mine. This is the Garcia pan. This one is probably 10 years old. So again, as you can see, the surface, it's a matter of seasoning and taking care of it. So there's not a lot of wear and tear here. This is actually new from Lodge. It's called Black Lock, and all this does is allows for a much larger pan at a lighter weight. So your traditional old cast iron pan is probably an eighth of an inch thick right here. This one is about a 1/16 of an inch. And I want to show you something here. You can see the various size here. So this is a 12 and this is a 14 inch. And you get more cooking surface out of this naturally. People are like, oh my God, it's just a heavier pan. Actually, this larger Black Lock pan is much lighter than my traditional cast iron pan. So again, side-by-side comparison, more cooking space, actually lighter than your traditional. Nothing wrong with your traditional. Actually, this is probably their number one redeeming style SKU. But again, they came out with Black Lock and it just does exceptional work. And actually, that's what my little cookie is made out of right now, the Black Lock brand here. So it is some great stuff. great functionality. Again, it's just not limited to outdoor cooking. It's certainly something that you can bring into the kitchen as well.
Well, that's great. So I'm getting really hungry, even though I already had lunch. But Greg Myers from Lodge is actually watching right now. So Greg, hopefully we're doing an okay job. Hold some of the end results up for us, your fillet or your cookie or something.
You got it. Actually, I will plate it for you just so you see how the Garcia family eats on a typical evening.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to just look at the comments here. Shay from our team says Pinterest has a great no-knead bread recipe for the Lodge Dutch oven. And that's the Lodge Dutch oven behind you, that red one, I think, isn't it?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, again, they simply just don't do cast iron. I mean, they've got seasoned cast iron. They have enamel cast iron. They do carbon steel and stoneware. And again, as I touched on, these accessories are phenomenal. There's a lot of great stuff here that you would need to better take care of your Lodge product and make sure that you're up to snuff with it. So
okay, show us that plate one more time, because you didn't know the plated food, because we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky there. So
that looks
great.
It's
a little bit more than medium rare, and then just some potatoes. And again, it's just a matter of getting everything up to snuff. And again, the temperature, the cooking temperature, the evenness of the cast iron does the work for you. There's nothing more than I do than just make sure that the temperature is right.
Awesome. Well, Greg Myers did comment, and he said he's coming over to your house to eat that meal. So
I did want to touch on one other point. So Lodge, a couple of years back, they bought the Finex brand, and what it is that also is cast iron, but it's very high end. They do a great job of promoting stainless steel with cast iron. So they actually do stainless steel handles, stainless steel lids, things like that. So it is very high end. It's something that, people like to pass it down from generation to generation as they do Lodge, but just the way they styled this brand, the way it actually represents, it's just not just typical, straight cast iron. They've got some pretty color to it. And unfortunately, I do not have a sample to show, but we can certainly send some information to people if they are interested in it. Again, Lodge in itself is very reasonably priced. The Finex brand is just going to be a little bit step up above that.
Okay, so incentiveconcepts.com/Lodge. And you would be able to find all the Lodge products there and the Finex brand. So feel free to head over there to check it out. All right, Raul, go ahead and eat. You got 5 minutes or so to eat. and then we're going to head over to Kevin now. So go ahead and turn off your video, Raul, and then we'll bring you back on later.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. That was great. All right, Kevin.
Hey, Andy, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Good. Yeah, I hear you great. Perfect.
Good.
Nice shirt.
Nice job, Raul. He made me hungry.
Well, what have you got going on? This is another kitchen, nice kitchen.
So today we're going to cover some Nordic Ware product. And Nordic Ware is an American family business since 1946. They're out of Minnesota. They were the creators of the bunt pan, which we're going to talk about in a minute. They also created a microwave go-round, and it was a micro go-round. So what's known as kind of the carousel in most of the microwaves today, they created that when the microwave was first introduced in 1981, I believe, where they just had a product that turned it around to make sure that everything was getting heated equally. So very creative, innovative business, and they cover a lot of ground. So one of the things, they've got 5 different categories. Bakeware is probably their largest. Obviously consists of baking sheets, bunt pans, things like that. Cookware with skillets, griddles and woks. So that's another category of theirs. Third category is microwave. We'll talk a little bit about some of the microwave products, popcorn poppers, bacon racks, things like that that you can use every day in your microwave. Kitchen tools. So they've got spatulas, scrapers, whisks, all of those products that you're going to need to cook and bake. And then grillware. They do have some grill toppers, some grill baskets, as well as grill top smokers. So there's a lot of different products, different categories, different price points. Again, all things that you can use and kind of experience in your home today. So first thing we'll talk about, there's some products up here are some cookie stamps. So these are stamps that you just pop onto the top of the cookies when you cook them. We've got a few of them done here. I just kind of want to show how some of those come out. So you can just have the stamped cookie, or you can decorate those as well.
So this is a typical Thursday at the Hagan house. making cookies?
Look at me. I mean, of course, it's, I got to have cookies. So that's all the cookware. They've got the cookware and bake sheets and everything. The bun pan that we talked about, so these are just easy. This is right out of the oven, a little warm. But basically, you just you can shake the cake right out of there. And obviously, you just got the bun cake to decorate, things like that. So it's just a super easy product to work with.
Wow.
Some of the microwave products. So as we were, talking about staying at home and doing things, I know my wife and I are binge watching a new show every week and trying to catch up on some old things that we haven't seen or old movies. So I did pop some popcorn earlier for the movies. And again, just really simple to use, great items, popcorn poppers. They've got the bacon racks that we were talking about. So these can just go right in the microwave. The top keeps everything nice and clean. Just some bacon across there. It just cooks right on it. Keeps this from splattering across your microwave. It's nice if you're just doing for yourself or a couple people. You can get away with that and don't have to cook the whole thing. Also microwavable bowls and mixing bowls. These do come in different sets with different tops on them as well. So there's just a lot of different product lines, the different categories we spoke about earlier, and huge variance of price points. Anything really that you're looking for to give to the associates or employees that want to know. Again, we're thinking of you today, something to do with your family, and enjoy yourself with the kids.
Awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, much of Nordic Ware product is made in the USA.
Yeah, I think almost all of it is now.
Okay.
The woks and everything are made in the US, and it's all in Minnesota. They've got a huge facility there. I've walked through it a couple of times, and it's massive family-owned business and right out of Minnesota. So we can ramp up production quickly and get whatever quantity you're looking for in 6 to 8 weeks.
So with Lodge that we heard from Raul and Nordic Ware, we've got several brands and Finex that are made right in the USA, which I think is great this time of year because it's going to help out with everything with the economy too. So I think that's important to highlight. Anything that's made in the USA right now is becoming real hot. So awesome. Absolutely. Kevin, great. So let's see, we're all going to meet at your house later. After we eat Raul's steak, we're gonna come eat your bunt pans. So
he's not far from me, so it's just 45 minutes away.
All right, great. Well, this has been great, guys. Let's bring Raul and Aaron back on for the final round table here. There we go, guys. All right, looking good. Kevin, you can come. You can stay on still.
Yep, I'll be right there.
Oh, okay. He's moving over.
Repositioning.
Kevin, I think, had his own camera person there. So Raul and Cookie, you guys are going to have to figure out to get your own camera person next time we do this.
I did.
All right, good. Well, thank you to the camera operator. I think I have an idea who that is.
Yes.
But I'm sure she did a wonderful job. So thank you to the camera operator. There were most of the comments that came in were like, you guys are doing a great job. Great price points on these items. Way to go. Looks yummy. Great job, Raul. Here's one. Is all of this dishwasher safe? So this would maybe be, why don't Kevin, you field that with the Nordic Ware?
Yeah, Nordic Ware, except for the cookie sheets and baking pans, you should not put those in the dishwasher. You should hand wash those, but everything else is dishwasher safe. If you want to double check everything as you get those items, it does say that if it's dishwasher safe, it'll show it on the actual packaging as well.
Awesome. Raul, I don't think you should put a cast iron in the dishwasher, right? Oh, we lost your audio, Raul. Sorry, my friend.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no, it's certainly not recommended. It's very easy to clean. And one of the recommendations from the website is if you do have something that's truly stuck on there, throw some water in there, throw a stovetop and, get it to boil and it'll loosen it up. It's just a matter of a soft scrub. They say you can use a little bit of soap if you have to, but for the most part, a soft scrub gets everything out. And again, the most important thing after every wash and dry is to season your pan.
Okay, fantastic. Cookie, I don't think we need to wash any of your products. You could probably just use a hose to wash off.
Yeah, just hose them off, leave them out, let the rain get on them a little bit. But, one last thing I will add, again, talking about a lot of the newer tailgate items, is they're fully customizable. As I mentioned, low minimum, 10 units, no setup charge. We'll bake that run charge right into the product cost. So it's very much, here's your price, includes everything. Again, a lot of it's made in the USA, not everything, but we can point out which is which. But we can turn that around pretty quickly. So good stuff.
Awesome. Well, we want to be respectful of everybody's time, so we're gonna call this the end. I do want to remind everybody that's watching that we're going to keep doing this every week. So next week we have a very exciting guest. Her name is Danielle Bishop, and she is with HB Hospitality, and she is going to be talking to us about kind of the state of the travel and hotel industry. As many of you know, we have an event gifting experience part of our business. And so Danielle is a wonderful person. She's going to talk about the current state of travel and events and how hoteliers are adjusting to everything and kind of the changing role of meeting planners. So same time on Thursday next week, which is 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. We hope to see you there. Aaron, Raul, Kevin, great job again. It was good to see you guys. Thanks a lot. And you guys have a good day. And thanks everybody for watching.
All right. Thanks everyone.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.